Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I am Shekhar Gupta at Bombay Gymkhana and my guest today, well, the entire cricketing world's favorite voice, Harsha Bhogle.
Thank you.
And if I may add, a wonderful mind, a great friend, and also to make a proper disclosure, an Indian Express columnist.
Yes, and I've enjoyed writing. It's been quite a few years now.
Absolutely. So welcome to Walk the Talk.
Thank you.
And
Thank
in a year when we've seen so much happening in sport, particularly in Indian cricket, and in a year when you've been voted the most popular commentator on your channel.
It was a huge moment for me, Shekhar. It's one of those moments you live for. I remember as a little kid wondering if I'd get a break somewhere. So yeah, but it's been an astonishing year for world cricket, and to think that it started off in Sydney amidst such rancor and anger, and people were taking sides. We said there's a plane ready to take the Indians back, and it ended with us welcoming the English to India and saying thank you very much for coming. It started with Sachin scoring 100, it ended with Sachin scoring 100, so you might think nothing has changed, but a lot happened. The IPL happened in between.
But in a way, that Sydney test set up the year.
It did, because I think the world stood up and said, these guys are a force to reckon with. Not just in terms of the money, but they're willing to back their players.
Even though we lost.
Even though we lost, and I think we need to be very clear here, we lost as much because of contentious umpiring decisions as we did because we didn't bat long enough. In spite of all that, we should have batted long enough. But I think what turned the tide against the Aussies in Sydney was a statement Anil Kumble made, which is very reminiscent of the statement made in Bodyline.
Absolutely.
About only one team playing the spirit of the game.
Yes.
And it hurt the
Aussies.
Aussies.
Yes.
It hurt the Aussies. And I think what also happened, Shekhar,
because that's something that the Aussies had said.
Yes.
Earlier.
There's only one team out there
playing cricket.
Yeah, there's Bill Woodfull, I think.
Yes.
And what hurt the Aussies was that the Aussie public went against them and said, this is not the kind of cricket team we want. I think that's what really hurt them. And that's why India earned a lot of brownie points.
But how did this happen in Australia? I thought that was the Australian way.
Which is what surprised a lot of Australians. They said, since when have we started going to the umpire to complain? We've always played hard. We've always said the umpire's decision is final. We just take it and move on. Since when have we started doing these things? And I think that's what a lot of Aussies didn't like. And I've been to Australia so many times. I have a lot of admiration for their cricket system. The man in the street loves his cricket.
In fact, in the whole world, there isn't exporting power like Australia.
No, given their size, success as a ratio, as a proportion of size is fantastic.
It's a most crazily sports-crazed country.
I think they're very blessed because of their great outdoors. Everyone has their own little half-acre plot, and you can play outside, and they become natural athletes.
Right. So what brought about that change in Australia? Was it because of, let me ask a leading question.
Yes.
Was it because of some kind of a grudging respect that had been increasing for India? India as a number 2 team, as a team that attracts crowds, money, sponsorships, whatever.
Winning in India had always been the big thing for Steve Waugh, for example. They called winning in India the last frontier.
Yeah.
Until 2004, they hadn't won in India. So there was this big build-up about India.
And they did with a little help from our board or somebody in our board.
What happened in Nagpur?
What happened in Nagpur? I mean, you got a New Zealand-style pitch there.
I wasn't there, but I hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that there should be home advantage. Not contrived home advantage, but natural home advantage.
That was almost like an Auckland or a Christchurch.
It was. A lot of bounds. The Aussies looked at it and said, wow. And you can't allow a visiting team to do that. But this thing about beating India was always there, because the Aussies had always looked upon India as their natural rivals. I think after India started winning in 2001 in India, that great turnaround series, and I think VVS Lakshman and Harbhajan and the Test match of Kolkata has a place in history far beyond the forgotten 100.
Yes.
Has a place in history far beyond what happened that particular day.
Because that was a series one, it wasn't a one-off victory. It was a comprehensive victory. In fact, 2 victories achieved in matches where the other side got more than 400.
If you get more than 500. If you get a series half as good as that, you should go and watch it.
Right.
It was a brilliant series.
That series revived Test cricket in many ways.
It did.
In its parts.
It did. And I think there's also an understanding that at some point Australia and India have got to start to work together, because Australia looked upon themselves as the cricketing power and a thought leader in the game. All the great new ideas were coming from Australia, and India was a financial nerve center of the game. So it made sense for the financial power and the cricketing power to come together. And I think that is why they wanted closer contact.